Ladies and gentlemen, we're here.
I'm part of the Kliq, isn't everybody?
Yes! 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 I got an idea, yeah. Beat up John Cena!
Give me a hell yeah!
Oh, a little bit of the bubbly.
Too sweet! This is where the power lies!
I am the man.
Beat me if you can! Come on!
It's showtime, folks!
The following episode is scheduled for one fall, and it is for your listening pleasure. This is In The Kliq.
What's up, everybody? Baby Huey here, and joining me once again is my brother Tommy. How's it going?
Hey.
And also join us is our good brother from Pro Wrestling 101 on Instagram. It's Richard. How you doing? Forget about it. Sorry. For all the Kliqsters listening right now, before we hit record, we were all full-blown D'Angelo. Wait, what's his last name again, Tom?
Tony D'Angelo.
Tony D'Angelo.
Tony Soprano, yeah.
We were all doing our best D'Angelo impression, Tony D'Angelo. So I think, maybe for one episode of the podcast, we just all talk like him for the entire episode. I think that'd be very fun.
I guess you got to do it like a Vince Russo kind of New York accent, bro.
Maybe we review Halloween Havoc next week in the style of Tony D'Angelo. Hey, let me tell you about that first match here.
Mama Luke.
Yeah, hey, not that very good. So, you know what? Forget about it.
Yeah,
hey.
oh, my God.
Oh, my God.
Christopher Columbus is a hero.
Oh, my God.
I'm waiting for that promo.
Oh my God. Well, we will talk some NXT later on in the show. But first things first, another action-packed week in WWE. Specifically, it was their big Crown Jewel pay-per-view for the month of October. So I know in the past when they had like Saudi Arabia shows, they'll split it up, like have that at one point in the month, and then later on in the month they'll have a separate pay-per-view here in the States. But no, on the books, only Crown Jewel is for the month of October. So going into this, man, Richard, I was like looking over the last couple of weeks between Raw and SmackDown. I was like, they got a pretty stacked lineup going into Crown Jewel as far as just the matchups. I was like, this is very borderline like WrestleMania-esque.
I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah, I was like, I'm really liking all these matchups here and the different scenarios and the titles that are on the line and the stakes involved, specifically with the King of the Ring and whatnot. So I was really looking forward to this pay-per-view. Unfortunately, it was on a Thursday and it started at 9 a.m. here on the West Coast where we're at.
Yeah, I got up early to watch it, so...
I got home as soon as I could and started watching it before I got spoilers.
Okay.
That's good.
Unfortunately for me, I was at work and you know what? I was kind of
looking for spoilers.
Yeah, F it. I was like, you know what? I was like, because I was like, trying to work, but then like I'm doing social stuff for work and whatnot. And I'm seeing like people post their reactions and WWE on social posting their highlights and whatnot. So I was like, oh, it's okay. It's fine. I still enjoy seeing how they got to that point when certain things were announced.
Did you see everything spoiled?
Not necessarily. No, not everything. Like the outcomes per se. Like some of them, I saw the winners, but not how
he
they.
Did Tommy. He did Tommy.
Wikipedia. Yeah. I did my best to forget about it.
Like a blight.
But yeah, so Crown Jewel came and went, and then on a Thursday, and then man, WWE. They're superstars. The next night had to go to SmackDown. Or was it Kansas? I think it was Wichita, Kansas. So they had a show, back-to-back shows across the country. So it was pretty
lagging for all of them.
I mean, I hope they got a good night's sleep on that plane ride back to America. But
I imagine they were on a pretty comfortable plane.
I would hope so.
Yeah.
I would hope so. If it's anything like the plane ride from hell, they got plenty of room to relax and sleep in. So, but yeah, Richard, your overall takeaways just from Crown Jewel before we kind of go through the card.
I don't have enough thumbs to give up. I thought it was WrestleMania quality great.
Yeah, I mean,
Siskel and Ebert would approve.
Yeah, this was their best outing in Saudi, I think. Like, I really liked the Greatest Royal Rumble just because I like Rumble matches, but in terms of like a standalone show, this was really good.
Yeah, as far as I think overall book show and the quality of the matches, the in-ring work, for the most part, I think it's their best book show in the last 3 years. I think it was since they've
started doing it.
Yeah, I was trying to think when their first Saudi show. I think it was it 2017? But anyway,
2018, 2019.
Yeah, because Shawn Michaels, Triple H, they came back one of the years, the DX reunion. So, but I'm with you. I love this show. Tommy, how about yourself? Anything, just overall quick thoughts about it?
It was a great crowd, I thought.
Yes. Yeah, hell yeah.
They were so into the matches, especially I felt the Drew McIntyre versus Big E match. They were so pumped for that one, I felt.
Yeah, at that point in the show, they really woke up and got into it. And yeah, to their credit, the fans in attendance, they did their homework as far as they knew who to cheer for, who to boo for, when to react, what to say, what to do. It was, I give them credit. They were into it the whole time.
The whole time.
Yeah, and it was always interesting to me. It's cool seeing all of them with the WWE merch as well. So it's like really cool to see WWE like expand and have a presence all around the world. It just shows how big of a company they are. But let's do this. Let's go down through the card. I did not catch the kickoff match, which the Usos between Hurt Business. I assume it was pretty good. They do have a little history because remember when Roman in the Bloodline were on Raw back in September. So there's a little history there. But Usos win. Good for them. Keep their momentum going. So for the main show itself, I was kind of surprised they started with the Hell in a Cell match between Edge and Seth Rollins. But I guess it makes sense as far as lowering the cage down, get it done, and then lift it back up and then have it, away, out of sight, out of mind for the rest of the show. But man, Richard, I mean, I know 2021 is almost over for the year, but is it safe to say maybe Edge, Seth Rollins might be the feud of the year?
See, it's hard for me to say because
you got to review.
Well, I mean, part of me saying it's hard to say is that we started the year still in the Thunderdome, so it's hard for me to kind of differentiate where that ended, and I guess probably like in terms of having crowds back, I would say for sure.
Yeah.
I'd say so.
But they brought the cage down, the match started, and this is technically the third match in the last couple months. I mean, SummerSlam was the first. They had a show at Madison Square Garden in September, and then here Extreme Rules. So this has been a program for almost 3 months. They've been going at it. So what a way to wrap up this whole thing. The rubber match, I guess you could say, because they each won the first 2 matches each. But man, and that's the thing. I think we talked about this last week. Was this rivalry was so blood feuded? It made sense that they would want to finish this off in a Hell in a Cell match because they both hate each other. They just want to kick each other's ass.
Well, what a violent match it was.
Right? I mean, that's the thing. And then this is a situation where organically it makes sense for a Hell in a Cell match to be added as a stipulation to end a feud between two people who've been going back and forth for months.
Because we opened the show with the main event.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, the match started, and I mean, what I enjoyed was the pacing.
Yeah.
As far as...
And they stayed in the cage.
Yes, exactly. Mm-hmm. But as far as the pacing, as far as... And listen, I think for a lot of people, we're so conditioned to, the indie style of matches, if you want to call that, where it's just like nonstop, fast, upbeat, spot after spot after spot. And it's like, I get burnt out seeing a lot of those type of matches. But this match here, they told us great story as far as, Edge and Seth kind of feeling each other out at first. And then they worked their way outside of the ring using the cage as a weapon. Trapped, exactly. And then, using the steps at one point and then table spots. And then it increased with the toolbox and then a ladder. You know what I mean? So it's like it kept like the stakes or what weapons were being used were increasing like in value. It's like, okay, using a step is not working. What's the next thing in my grasp?
Tables,
ladders,
exactly. Chairs.
So the progression, the progression there was really good. I really enjoyed that storytelling. But Richard, and this is something I always kind of think of you now when I watch this stuff. It's violent, but not like gory, not like blood. I mean, and that's something you've pointed out a while back where WWE sometimes could do a really good job of having like a quote violent match, but not like get all bloody, if you want to kind of explain.
Beat the S out of each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you can see markings on both of their bodies all over from fists and cuts and, not when I say cuts, I don't mean blade job. I mean like going through the table and then, Seth Rollins' back is all cut up and just really good.
Yeah, it was even cool. Like, they brought the steps in the ring. They were using that. The story here of Seth trying to prove he's not Edge Light, Edge 2.0. And so these guys, they're trying to, kick each other's ass, especially Seth, because he wants to prove he's not just another Edge replica. And I love that one spot where Edge pushed Seth off the top rope. Oh, my
God, yeah.
Into the cage wall, slides down through the table. What a spot. I mean,
I was almost expecting him to pull the Rob Van Dam move where he holds onto the cage, but he just went shoulder first into the side and just slid. Like you said, smashed through a table.
And even early in the match, like early on, Seth went for like a suicide dive and Edge just propelled him into the cage wall as well. So I give Seth so much credit for just putting his body on the line for that. And then, Edge hit the kill switch on Seth as well. I mean, there were so many great moments here. And like I said, with the use of weapons, I really enjoyed Seth. You open up the toolbox, grabbing out the chain and wrapping up his foot and leg with it and trying to super kick, or he did super kick Edge with it. I'm like, oh my God. So this match was so entertaining. And then, ultimately, Edge defeated Seth by doing a curb stomp. Tommy pointed out to me was not the most perfect curb stomp, right, Tommy? It was.
Yeah, it was a little bit. It just looked like he grazed him.
He slipped a little bit. Yeah, but Edge hit the curb stomp on Seth, and Edge picked up the victory. So I guess it's over for the time being. This feud's over, even though they're
on the same show now.
Yeah, they're still.
So I wonder where they go from here. I mean, only time will tell.
I'm hoping this leads us out of the brand supremacy and we can get a Team Edge against Team Rollins at Survivor Series.
Ooh, that would be really good.
Yeah, because I'm kind of looking at it's like more so than other years. There's more team atmospheres for things. And I feel like those guys could find some people, Like Seth could get the Dirty Dogs on.
Yeah.
There you go.
So he has to go out and recruit people.
Yeah. Edge could get the Street Profits.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And then throw in whoever.
Yeah. They got to come up with a team name though.
I would like to. Any of those guys, I think, could be in contention for the WWE title against Big E.
Of course.
Oh, and that's the thing. It's like Edge has a case to be like, hey, I want to go after the WWE Championship now. Look, I beat Seth, and that's my goal since coming back from retirement is I want to win a championship. Seth Rollins, I'm sure they can build him back up as a new contender for Big E. So Big E has a lot of fresh opponents now on Raw moving forward. That's
what I want to see.
Yeah, absolutely. And then I did like Edge. Remember he took the chair and did a Mick Foley and jumped off the turnbuckle and slammed on Seth Rollins.
Yeah, elbow drop.
Cactus Jack.
Yeah, Cactus Jack. So, I mean, this Hell in a Cell match was great. And like I was emotionally invested because these two guys have had a great storyline up until that point. So it made sense for a Hell in a Cell match to be taking place. So yeah, bravo to both of them. Next up, we saw Mansour taking on Mustafa Ali. And now this is a match.
Yawn.
Really?
You didn't like it?
How come?
I don't care for spot matches. Like to me, these are just two spot monkeys.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. And I'm not emotionally invested in either of them. Like Ali does absolutely nothing for me. Mansour, like he's okay, but he's still like whenever he has a match. Whenever he has a match in Saudi Arabia, I just know it's to make him look good, and he's going to win.
Yeah, I mean he's always going to win. He's always undefeated. I mean that's the thing with
now what happened after the match. I'd like to talk about.
Okay,
go on.
That.
Okay, so we saw Mansour win defeat over Mustafa Ali. It was about a 10-minute match. Pretty good match. I mean, my thing is, they were tag teaming and Ali was really trying to push Mansour, I guess, to be more heelish in the ring. And Mansour, he just wants to be the ultimate babyface. And so they had the falling out the week before and led to this match. But yeah, so Mansour wins, but Ali, is standing there, and we see the music hit, and then we see a person wrapped in covered up
turban.
their face. Yeah,
the facial.
And walk into the ring. But Richard, I was like, this person's walking kind of slow. They need to
really slow,
speed it up,
pace it up a bit. Yeah,
this is. I think I texted you this was the most WCW segment I've seen since WCW ended.
Yeah, you texted me that one.
But
Tommy, I texted Tommy.
But Ali was like,
oh my god,
standing there waiting. Like, who is this guy coming?
What a clueless putz.
And then he gets in the ring, and he's still like. Standing there like he's trying
Slow
to absorb the moment, I guess.
The Yeti had more life to him than this guy.
So he takes off, his face covering. And see, I already knew who it was because I saw on Twitter earlier in the day.
You just recognized the frame. Admit it.
Yes, I did.
You're a big fan of what's his name? Karate Man.
So his name is
Karate player.
Tariq Hamidi. Am I pronouncing it right, Tommy?
I believe so.
I'm offended by the way you said that.
I forgive me. I'm trying to pronounce as best I can, but
he's a karate martial artist, and
he's a karate man.
Yeah, he won
silver
at the 2020 Olympics or 2021 Olympics in Tokyo.
And he's a karate man.
In the kumite, which is he got disqualified for this kick that knocked his opponent out, and
illegal kick,
illegal kick. And
but he's a karate man.
Yes, and and then he wound up getting the silver. So
what a loser.
So yeah, he's from Saudi Arabia, so he's like a big hometown Olympic hero.
Yeah.
So yeah, when he came out there, cool little moment. He then kicked Ali in the head and knocked him out.
Yeah.
And then him and Mansour celebrated. So it was a good, I guess, moment for the hometown Saudi Arabia crowd.
Just to embrace everyone.
Got everyone amped up for that. Yeah. Next up, we saw for the Raw Tag Team Championship, we saw RK Bro go up against AJ Styles and Omos, and I mean, maybe the entrance alone was worth it, but Riddle and Orton are coming out, and Riddle's like, hold on, wait. He goes in the back. He comes out on a camel. Like, that was awesome.
I think the Iron Sheik would improve.
That's the most Matt Riddle thing ever.
Yeah. Because remember when the Iron Sheik had like his little segment back in the 80s with Vince McMahon, and he had a camel?
Oh, he did.
I'm just hoping Matt Riddle brought the camel back with him, and that's his new entrance.
Moving forward, just everywhere
he gets rid of the scooter, and now it's a camel.
He upgraded. Yeah. Now the question is, do you think he farted on the camel?
Do I think Matt Riddle farted? Why would you ask me that?
Because I saw him. Okay, no. So the reason I said that, I saw a meme the other day. Hold on, this is what made me think of it.
My God,
there was a meme the other day I saw that said horses get farted on more than any other animal. And I was thinking, what about camels then? Because people sit on camels. And then I saw Matt Riddle, and I was like, I wonder if Matt Riddle farted on the camel. I'm just saying, Richard.
Anyway,
this is quality podcast talk right here.
Hey, if there's a moment we got to talk about flatulence, it's probably the right time to talk about it now.
Yeah. So,
what am I doing? What am I doing with my life?
Talking about Matt Riddle and if he farted on a camel or not.
Yeah, I think he did.
Yeah, I think so too, man.
All right, let's move on.
Okay.
Is it possibly from drinking too much goat's milk?
Now, the match itself, it was not super long. I mean,
Let's
Omos.
talk about the quality opposed to time.
Yeah.
I thought it was they executed their time exquisitely. I
Yeah.
thought this was really, really. I mean, considering what it followed, the Hell in a Cell and the filler in between.
Yeah.
I thought this brought us back up really well.
Yeah. Well, I really enjoyed Omos in the ring with Randy Orton. Like Randy Orton, he's trying to fight it, and Omos is this big monster.
They're doing a really good job of teasing a match with those two.
Yeah, and that's the thing. And so, and couple weeks ago with the draft, there was a rumor that Omos was going to get drafted by himself to SmackDown. But the rumor is a Raw main eventer said no, he's not ready to go on his own. So a lot of people speculate that was Randy Orton. So when I see the two of them in the ring, I really interpret that as Randy trying to help Omos get better. In this match, Randy was trying to throw different stuff at Omos, and he was not selling it, being the full giant that he is. So I really enjoyed that part of the match. But ultimately, RK Bro picks up the victory. So they retain the Raw Tag Team Championships, and then we already saw a preview for Raw this week. They're going to have a rematch again. I'm like, come on. How many times can we see these guys go at it? I'm just kind of getting burnt out, though. So
this is the end of it, I think. I think AJ and Almost are going to get it.
We'll see what happens. Next up, we saw the finals for the Queen's Crown Tournament. Zelina Vega going up against Doudrop. Now, this match also wasn't that long. It was not even barely 6 minutes long. But Zelina Vega picks up the victory with the code red. She tried to hit one earlier in the match, couldn't do it, but nailed it at the end. So I guess that's going to be her finisher moving forward. She wins. It's a big moment for her, celebrating. She went and got the crown, put it on. I'm actually excited to see what she can do as the, quote, first ever Queen's Crown of WWE. I think for her and her character, I think is a great way to kind of restart, freshen up her character. But Richard, what are your thoughts on her as the new queen of WWE?
Not a great match, but not bad. Kept me viewing it. I think she's ideal for it. I mean, you just look at her with even on SmackDown or Raw the week before, and she's putting it on. It just looked right on her. You know? Mm-hmm. I have to say the way she hit the is it Code Red? What is it called?
I think the Code Red, yeah.
Code Red, yeah.
The way she hit it at the end, I thought was the best part, because Doudrop essentially stood up straight, and that kind of made it look like whatever strength and weight Zelina Vega had, she was able to get her down like that.
Yeah.
And it was so quick and so subtle. It was just, had she been hunched over and she just rolled into it, I would have not been thrilled. But yeah.
That's my thing with the Code Red. I know the person giving it, makes them look great, but the person that's taking it, they're the
doing
ones
all the work.
They're doing
just
all
like
the work.
A Canadian destroyer.
Yeah, exactly. So when I saw this, I gotta give Doudrop props for selling this and making Zelina Vega look like a badass. And that's even at one point in the other match, Zelina Vega came off the ropes and was spinning all around Doudrop. But Doudrop, to give her credit, she's the one that's holding Zelina Vega, making her look good. You know what I mean? So Doudrop in this match really made Zelina Vega look like a really credible opponent in the ring. Now, as far as her being the queen of WWE, I'm actually kind of excited because, as we've seen over the years, Zelina Vega has really cited she's a big fan of, remember the old R&B singer Aaliyah, remember from the early 2000s?
Yeah.
She's cited her as one of her favorite artists growing up.
And she's a inspiration to her.
Yeah, and she's kind of trying to copy her look a little bit and stuff. And I was like, oh, this is perfect, because I remember she was in
Queen
that
of the
movie.
Damned.
Queen of the Damned. That's when I saw, when I was like, oh my gosh, she's the winner. I wonder if she's going to take elements from that movie into her character on Raw moving forward. Yeah. So I'm excited for that. So that's something, I haven't seen a lot of people comment on. I'm like, dude, she's gonna be the queen of the damn of WWE.
She's gonna have those vibes, man. It's a mood, as they say.
Well, and then, but for Zelina Vega, the way she carries herself, she can be very good, condescending attitude.
She looked better physically in the ring She's not quite at where she was when she left Impact or the Indies, but I was glad that she looks a lot more comfortable in the ring right now.
Did she wrestle a lot when she was in NXT, if I remember? Or,
no, not at all.
Not at all?
She wrestled a match.
Oh,
She just did Hurricane Rana. No, she did not wrestle a match. She just did Hurricane Ranas for Andrade.
Okay. That's right. All right.
Okay, so yeah, so for some people, they might not be used to seeing her wrestle as much compared to...
For those who don't know, she was Rosita in TNA, and she was a former Knockout Tag Team Champion.
Okay.
Gotcha.
So yeah, like I said, I'm excited for what she could do for this role, this character, because WWE in recent years, whoever wins King of the Ring, they just make them this royal character.
Yeah.
And so
exactly.
I think she'll do great with it. So, all right, next up.
There's at this point, there's been fewer people that have gone on to greater success at King of the Ring than there have not been. So I think that whole argument of the King of the Ring is a stepping stone to the championship, that argument is done.
Exactly. Well, and Yeah. And then Brock won it right in the early 2000s.
It's rookie year.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, though. It's like in recent years, who wins King of the Ring? That's actually their highest achievement.
Yeah. Forever people have been like, I don't know, since they brought it back. When did they bring it back? Like 2009?
Yeah, because Sheamus won, Wade Barrett.
Yeah. So since they brought it back, it has not been really much of like anything. But people still like, it's the stepping stone to the world title, though. It's like,
when did Regal won it?
2009.
Okay.
Do you remember who the first King of the Ring was?
Oh yeah. They kept saying it on the show.
I know, yeah, that's the thing.
I know. Don Morocco, if anyone doesn't
Everyone knows that.
Yeah. He's got a podcast now.
Does Don Morocco?
Yeah, he does.
William Regal won in 2008. That's right.
Wow. Okay.
Sheamus 10, Bad News Barrett 15, and then Corbin 19, and Xavier Woods this year.
Yeah.
So, it's. I'm with you. Like, I don't know. I just kind of wish King of the Ring. Well, we'll get into more of that when we talk about Xavier Woods and stuff. Maybe we'll touch more about what the King of the Ring should symbolize. But real quick, we saw no holds barred match, false count anywhere between Bobby Lashley and Goldberg.
Not the Hulk Hogan movie.
No.
Rip 'em.
Great movie, by the way.
I love that movie.
That is a tremendous movie.
We saw on the go home to Raw this week, they had the face-off interview via satellite, both of them in different locations. But Goldberg just kept saying he's going to kill Bobby Lashley. He's going to finish the job.
He murdered him. I saw his wrists were cut at the end.
Oh God, yeah.
But I want to ask you, like, I'm actually kind of glad they made his no holds barred, falls count anywhere, because that way it covers up Goldberg's, at his older age, what he can do in the ring. So, incorporating like weapons and no DQ, it kind of gives Goldberg a way to kind of, it helps what he lacks in the ring now. It gives him an out. There's ways to covering it up with, taking weapons and, breaks in between.
I thought he had the right dance partner, and I thought this match for both men was amazing.
Yeah, and I'm surprised how long it went, too.
Yeah.
I had several people, one of which said, I've never liked Goldberg, ever, but that match was awesome.
Yeah.
It was
Shout
a lot
out to
of fun.
Silky Slim.
Yeah.
Johnny D.
There were some good spots in this match, I felt.
In the matchup, Goldberg had a great jackhammer.
He did.
Yeah.
Like,
he did.
He has a nail.
Look at him. Like I don't remember. He hasn't been in this shape since WCW.
Yeah.
Like even when he returned and came to WWE in the early 2000s, he wasn't in this shape.
Yeah.
Just big, bulky monster.
Yeah.
We had the Oreo cookie tights on, the black and white. I always look at Oreo cookie.
Wow.
You're
on a roll tonight, aren't you?
Hey, well,
I wonder if Matt Riddle eats Oreo cookies then farts. Come on, Richard. That's good. Have you ever had the Oreo cookie milkshake at Jack in the Box? That's great.
Oh yeah.
Who has not had that?
So,
What? Why is this a question on here?
They got an Oreo cookie milkshake at Applebee's too.
Yeah.
God damn.
So, but the match itself, I mean, yeah, the jackhammer looked great. Even they took it outside and had a spear into the barricade. So they had barricades, but even though Goldberg kind of was walking to that one, he went,
God.
I actually enjoyed the spot where Bobby Lashley missed the spear and he hit the table.
oh yeah, that's right. But then, towards the end, so they're going up the ramp, and then Cedric and Shelton from the Hurt Business come out with kendo sticks. I'm like, all right. And Goldberg,
I don't feel like that's that part. I feel like something more should have been there. There was something amiss there.
yes. Okay. Before I forget, we besides Bobby Lashley, and Tommy pointed this out to me, Goldberg's biggest opponent in this match were his own gloves. Do you see it? He had trouble taking off his gloves.
The struggle was real for that moment right there.
Anyway, they're going up the ramp.
He was almost winded.
Yeah, Cedric and Shelton, then they come out. I'm like,
Jesus.
But Goldberg, he's like, he starts like posing like or prepping like, all right, I'm ready for this fight. 3-on-1, 2 in front of me, 1 behind me.
Yeah, let's do this.
And Cedric, they didn't really do much with him. He like literally, like I think got one of the kendo sticks and took him out pretty easily. I'm like, come on, man, this is the Hurt Business.
Put up a fight at least, man.
I feel it would have been better before they started going up the ramp if they came out and they both got speared. Because it would explain why they were taken out of the scenario
so quickly.
Yeah.
And I'm not fantasy booking because I don't like to do that. That's nitpicking for me. But
right.
Well, I love the match. So I'm not taking anything away from it. I thought it was great. I love the spear at the end. That was badass.
That was a nice spot.
Well, I thought it was going to turn to like a little bit of a Star Wars lightsaber, but with kendo sticks, because Goldberg had
I saw someone made that online.
What? Oh, no way. I got to see that.
Now I wish I had saved it for
you. Okay. And then Lashley had one. They start like hitting each other with it. But then it led to, Goldberg spearing Bobby Lashley off the ramp into the tables. But I like they had like the dust or dirt, whatever, around it, and like it kicked up in the air, so it added an extra effect. So it was cool. And then Goldberg just pinned him right there, since it's false count anywhere. And
Goldberg Lashley wins. Did you see his arms were all cut? Like real bad.
I didn't see that part. Okay.
Yeah. Anytime there's blood, I'm like a moth to a flame.
So Goldberg wins, and Bobby Lashley loses here. Now I think Goldberg is probably going to disappear for a while. We'll probably won't see him again until Royal Rumble season or WrestleMania season, because he does
New Year's pay-per-view.
Yeah, he does 2 matches a year, so he's going to be gone for a while.
Yeah.
Lashley, on the other hand, he's still on Raw. I'm sure he can be in the title picture pretty soon. But that's the thing with Raw, with the draft. They got a lot of new fresh faces. Lashley can have a lot of great new opponents to kind of rebuild him back up.
Edge and
he's fine.
Bobby Lashley.
There's no need for building him up. I mean, look, in a way, Lashley also wins because he spent how much time in a match with Goldberg.
Yes.
Yeah, that's an accomplishment.
Make Goldberg look good. Yeah.
Right there, yeah.
Well, that's the other thing, too, is like, and I'm kind of glad the Hurt Business are back because now MVP is still recovering from surgery. At least Cedric and Shelton around. Lashley can still elevate him as like this big badass leader. So, I think Lashley's going to be fine long term from this. It's just, doing a company a favor, putting Goldberg over. So,
well, I mean, Lashley won the first one. Let's not forget.
Was it technically, or wasn't it like a no contest?
It was.
He retained. No, it wasn't no contest.
No, Lashley won by.
Was it
It's at SummerSlam.
Yeah.
I know SummerSlam. Yeah, I'm surprised Goldberg's son wasn't there to get involved in this match. Jump on him. So, ref stoppage. That's right. Because Goldberg couldn't stand.
Yeah, that's right.
That's a victory to me.
That's a victory. It's like in boxing. It's a TKO.
Yeah. So next up was the finals for the King of the Ring tournament. Xavier Woods taking on Finn Balor, and man, I'm so happy with this match and the outcome because my brain was thinking Finn Balor was going to win. It writes itself. The prince becomes the king. He's the big star. This is how he rebounds after losing the Roman Reigns. All that stuff, blah, blah, blah. He can use this to push himself back into the main event picture, even though, Richard, you said earlier, most of the time in recent years, people win King of the Ring. It doesn't really do much for them long term with WWE booking.
The majority of Kings of the Ring have not done anything with it.
Yeah.
Bret Hart was King of the Ring after he was already champion, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so with Xavier Woods, that's been his one goal in his life growing up as a wrestling fan. He wanted to be a King of the Ring winner. He put it on Twitter years ago that he's like, I want to be a King of the Ring winner. I wanted to come back. Even after he won his first match a couple weeks ago, he told the camera, crown me, crown me, crown me. Like, people have been like so campaigning for him and posting that they want to see him win. In WWE, as we know, with their booking, wrestlers don't win in their hometown. They don't win on their birthday. So when Xavier Woods, like, this was his one dream, I thought they were going to take that away and not let it happen. That way it gives like heat to against Xavier Woods. The only
reason why they don't do that is because it's predictable. And they don't want to do the predictable. So you do it enough and people think, oh, he's not going to win. It's his hometown. And then they start having to win again.
I hope so. But so the match itself, it wasn't super long as well, but it was very competitive. I mean, come on, you got Finn Balor, the dude, former Universal NXT champion. He's always good. Xavier Woods, he's been low key, been building up a lot of good quality wins in recent months. Mm-hmm. That's something we haven't really touched on too much. If you think about it, didn't he get a win against Bobby Lashley right a couple months ago when Lashley was kind of like
when he was still champion?
Yeah, and like, even though he got beat up in front of Kofi's face and stuff. But
he had a great match with Riddle some months back.
Yeah,
too.
So Xavier Woods, man, he's been putting on some banger matches in recent months. And so, you kind of like looking back on hindsight, you're like, whoa, Xavier Woods has been having a really good 2021. And so I think it really adds him some credence, credibility. He really deserves to be King of the Ring. He's a credible champion or king, I should say. He picks up the victory. I love his elbow spot. I like how the way he like walks out onto the ropes, and then goes flying, and nails it. And it was cool, like the way he sets it up with the gut wrench into jumping off the ropes there. So he picks up the victory over Finn Balor and. Dude, he looks so happy. I mean, for the New Day, you think about it, New Day is now arguably one of the greatest factions of all time, as far as Kofi being a WWE champion, Big E, WWE champion, all their tag title wins. And now Xavier, I'm really happy for him because now he's had a moment to shine, a big accomplishment. Yeah. He's always been a great supporter, with the trombone and all that stuff. But I don't know, what are your thoughts on him finally getting the King of the Ring crown officially?
I mean, I could care less whether it was his dream or not, but I thought the quality of the match made him a contender. So, and I think it upped his game quite a bit.
Yeah. So. And I'm excited, and we could touch a little bit maybe when we talk about SmackDown, but he has a coronation there. So I'm really excited. He's such a creative person. What he could do with this character. So we could touch on that a little bit when we talk SmackDown. Next up, dude, this is one of my matches of the night. Big E defending the WWE Championship against Drew McIntyre. Dude, hard-hitting match. The crowd like really woke up for this. They were super into it. I mean, God, both guys hit their finishers on each other. The other guy kicked out. I mean, this was an amazing match. What'd you think, Richard?
Loved it. Mm-hmm. I thought it was, again, another super physical match.
Yeah.
Just hard-hitting as all hell. I didn't really get, like, I kind of have it in my head, like, I don't need to be convinced that Big E's a main eventer. Like, with Kofi, like, it was a cool moment when he won it. And after that, I stopped caring.
Yeah, if you look at
not like I don't like Kofi, but like just kind of it is what it is.
Yeah, I wish they would get Kofi more credible wins, big name wins.
But at the same time, he's in a world where Brock Lesnar's around, so it's like, how credible is he really? Like if that match went exactly the way it should, if you ask me.
I mean, this match itself, I mean, God, as far as, Big E hit the big ending, Drew kicked out of that. Drew hit that super bulldog off the top rope, and then hit the Claymore. Big E kicked out of that. So it's just, that's the thing. We talked about in the past, Brock Lesnar, when he goes up against a much smaller guy, he puts on these really good matches. Drew McIntyre, to his credit, when he goes up another big hoss, it's always hard hitting. Look at WrestleMania with Bobby Lashley. Yeah. That match was so good. His match with Goldberg back at Royal Rumble, or you look at, his matches with Sheamus. When he's going up against another big, hard-hitting dude, he delivers Drew McIntyre in the ring. He's in his
prime.
Yeah. I mean, so Big E picks up the win. He hits a second big ending. Drew McIntyre, they shake hands.
Oh,
a good goodbye. What's that?
Nothing.
Okay. Well, no, so for Drew, he's off to SmackDown now. Did a nice, putting over Big E. And for Big E, I'm happy in his short reign thus far. This is a big win for him, defeating a former 2-time WWE champion. So for Big E, as far as, list of opponents he's defeated, Bobby Lashley, Drew McIntyre, this is good. This is good to add more.
You know what Drew's kind of like? He's 5 inches shorter, but he's much like The Undertaker, where it's just these feats that are... He's bigger than you would think.
Yes.
But he's also got all these, he does these things that a big guy shouldn't be able to do. Kind of like The Undertaker. Like he does that kind of nip up thing when he's in the upside down the turnbuckle. And, and it just kind of, that's what separates him from other big guys. Because a lot of big guys are just stiff, but he's technically a big guy. He's 6'5". He's a giant. How tall are you?
6'4".
Yeah, he's taller than you.
I know. You saw the photo. He was a little bit taller. We could have been a tag team. We could have been the new.
It'd be Drew McIntyre and Tugboat Jr. It'd be great.
Jeez, Tommy, what's Sid Vicious' old tag team? Skyscrapers.
The Skyscrapers.
Yeah,
with Dan Spivey.
Yeah,
I'm gonna get you that outfit.
I'm gonna tell Drew McIntyre that next time.
Yeah,
we should be
Skyscrapers. Grow a beard. No, you're gonna be the new natural disasters.
Wait. No, but the thing is, I can't be Earthquake. That guy looked like he was 45 when he was 25.
No, John Tenta? No way. Yeah. You're thinking Earthquake.
Yeah, I said Earthquake, but you want to be Typhoon.
Tugboat, Typhoon, Shockmaster, pick your
Fred
poison.
Ottman is his real name.
Big Bubba.
Cody Rhodes' is uncle, right? Tommy, is his uncle? Or Godfather?
Godfather, yeah.
Yeah.
Married Dusty's wife.
Sister. Yeah. So, the Nasty Boys, too, right?
Yeah.
I would love that.
Cody's a nasty boy, right?
I would love this.
Like the Janet Jackson song?
Yeah. So
this is going on a road to nowhere.
It's Oreo cookies, farting, and Janet Jackson.
It's all you. It's all the Delmore boys. I'm just here for the ride.
So I'm excited for Big E's next because, like I said earlier, with the fresh faces to Raw, a lot of great opponents, different possibilities. Edge, Seth Rollins, Finn Balor. So, I mean, there's a lot of options for Big E, and I hope they give him a good lengthy title reign through WrestleMania and just give him a lot of great opponents to go up against. I mean, hell, look, Brock Lesnar, he's a free agent. He can go wherever he wants. Maybe he can go to Raw and take on Big E. That would be great.
But you've got all these other guys, too, that you, just because they're not in the picture right now, you've got Rey Mysterio. I mean, you could easily do a storyline where Dominic gets mad at his dad and says, like, you don't have it anymore. Like, I'm the new thing, blah, 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 blah. And then Rey goes and wins the belt.
Actually, I actually had a little image earlier to remind me. Kevin Owens, he's over on Raw now. I mean, there's a lot of options. Cross,
yeah.
Oh my God!
Sami Zayn? Is he? Oh, he's still on SmackDown, right?
Sami Zayn, yeah. Apollo Crews,
yeah. I totally forgot about that.
I mean, Keith Lee. I mean, there's a lot of options. Yeah, Bearcat. And so Raw should be a lot of fun for the main event and mid card scene.
A lot of competition. Great
considering
competition.
how good Raw has been the last few, a month and a half, 2 months now, and now we're getting new faces. It's going to be great.
Oh, yeah.
Next up was the triple threat match for the SmackDown Women's Championship. So Becky Lynch defending Bianca Belair, Sasha Banks. Yeah, dude.
Another main event caliber.
Dude, this match was amazing.
Yeah.
Like,
hey, did Becky Lynch come back better than she did before? Like, her technical in-ring work was just like, I don't remember her like that quick, that technical,
but countering stuff.
Yeah, everything.
Yeah, I mean, God, there was like one point she did a double disarmer on both of them. Yeah. I mean, there's so much happened in this match. I can't name it all, or just off the top of my head, but like, I mean, Bianca Belair, these big matches, I love that they show her feats of strength. Like she did the gorilla press slam with Sasha and then did the one arm.
I love that.
Oh my God. Like,
that was a great spot.
Amazing. Bianca Belair is just like, she always delivers, lifting both of them up multiple times in this match. It was like, and you're right, Becky Lynch as well looks so good as far as, you know, just
she's on like considering how long was she gone? 10 months? 11 months?
No, since April. Yeah, so over a year and a half.
Almost a year.
Year and a half.
She comes back at a Charlotte Flair level. I mean, she was always good. She was always really good in ring, and her mic skills got her over the top and made her a megastar. But now her in ring is like at the same level as her mic skills, and it's like, oh my God.
Yeah.
And she pulled out the victory, which no one thought she was.
And that was an interesting finish. Like, I thought it was really well done as far as Bianca hit the KOD on Becky. Sasha pushes Bianca. They go outside. Bianca's outside. Sasha comes running in. But Becky counters, rolls her up, uses the rope, and gets the victory. So she retains the SmackDown Championship. As good of a way, I guess, keep Bianca look strong. I mean, and as she's moving over to Raw, I mean, this match was so good. I mean, these ladies over delivered in this match. So, I really look forward to what everyone's going to go with the different directions. And we saw on SmackDown where people are going to be going now. But main event time, Roman Reigns defending the Universal Championship against Brock Lesnar. I was going to say Paul Heyman. No, against Brock Lesnar. Dude, like, Brock Lesnar, I know he's known for more of the shorter matches in recent years. But this match went...
Depends on the opponent, yeah.
True. But this match went a lot longer than I thought. And, I mean... when Brock Lesnar is on it, focused, going at it with full attention, he is so good in the ring. Like, we forget
he's
about
the best.
It's so good. But yeah, Richard, this match was so good. I don't know what you think about it.
Loved it. Oh my God. I mean, psychology wise, everything about it was great. How Roman just kept trying to avoid the Germans for the first couple minutes. And, I love everything with Paul Heyman, and it was great. And it was so hard to read his face. And even like when he threw the belt in, it was just kind of like he didn't throw it to either of them in particular. And, you know, just perfect poker face throughout the whole thing.
And that's the thing. Towards the end, they're both laying there, and he throws the belt in the middle of them, and he just stared down and says, "You know what to do with it." So he didn't acknowledge either one. He emotionally looked torn. And he says, "You know what to do with it." That's all he said. He didn't say Roman, Brock by name. He wasn't looking at any one of them. So just the storytelling there. And you know, Paul Heyman's just so torn because these are both his guys, his Paul Heyman guys. So, but man, they had the little tug of war over the title. And then Brock gets a hold of it. And then the Usos come in with the stereo super kick. And then Roman hits him with the title belt, and then another ref comes out. Oh, that's right. Little Nate took the F5.
Man, that was a good ref bump.
Yeah, so when Brock hit the F5 on Roman and landed on Little Nate, and he got knocked out. I like how Brock went to pick him up by his pants, and then he just rolled out to the ring like just dead. So anyway,
that's how it works in the video game.
So they did the stereo super kicks the Usos did on Brock, and then the other ref comes out at 1, 2, 3, and Roman Reigns retains. And even though Paul Heyman looked upset, all four of them leave the ring, and you know Roman points up the one finger. Brock just looks pissed off. So Man, a great main event here. I know it was an overbooked finish, and this feud is far from over. So as far as wrapping up the first match of this new series of matches between them, because we know they've had plenty of history together, but this new trilogy, if you want to, I'm guessing it's going to be a trilogy. It was amazing. So a lot of fun. Crown Jewel just ended on such a great. I thought it was a great show, and it was a lot of fun to watch, man. So, dude, if they do more shows like this, I'm all for it. I was thinking about this, like maybe get rid of like these B-level pay-per-views and just focus on the big pay-per-views every other month. And if you build up to like these type of matches, it'll be amazing. I don't know. That's the fan in me.
Pay-per-views are always good, though.
Yeah.
So it's, until they start being crappy all the time until the big ones.
Yeah. So we'll just power through SmackDown real quick. We saw Roman Reigns come out. He just pretty much told Paul Heyman, "You do a crappy job," and he's just like crapping on Paul Heyman here.
Poor Paul.
I know. And then Brock Lesnar does come out, shows up, and it turns into a huge brawl. And and poor Adam Pearce takes a couple of F5s, gets his pants ripped. but actually right before that, Adam Pearce told Brock Lesnar he's suspended indefinitely for his actions.
He deserved it. He deserved it.
Yeah.
I'm surprised Adam Pearce didn't poop his pants or pee his pants from being scared.
No seepage, Danny.
No seepage.
And so anyway, I'm thinking this typical fashion as far as how to write off Brock Lesnar. How many times have we seen this, though? Brock gets mad, destroys the place.
Remember years ago he took out Michael Cole with the F5?
Yeah. I have a photo somewhere in my collection of Michael Cole's shoe, and it has his lifeline on there. Michael Cole, 1959 to 2000 and something.
Yeah.
The other one, remember, he ripped a car door off and threw it into the crowd, like way up top.
Yeah.
So he's suspended. I'm guessing he probably won't be back till like Royal Rumble season, so he'll be off for a couple months. And then, does him and Roman pick up around Royal Rumble season, or does it lead to like WrestleMania match? That's yet to be seen and determined.
Or it could be one of those situations where the Bloodline kind of take control of Raw completely, and Adam Pearce has no choice but to lift the suspension.
Oh, he kind of works on behalf of Adam Pearce.
Oh, yeah.
Or Vince comes out and says he's back. Is he just suspended from SmackDown?
I don't know.
He didn't really specify. Yeah,
I think they did it on purpose to keep it loose.
So I have hope that we might get him on Raw and we can get Bobby Lashley and Brock Lesnar.
And that's the thing.
BL versus BL.
I would love that. Give me that. Yeah, Royal Rumble, WrestleMania. I mean, there's so many different moving parts here. But yes, I want to see at some point Bobby Lashley and Brock Lesnar at some point, either Royal Rumble, WrestleMania. Give it to me.
Yeah.
SummerSlam. Give me one of those, big pay-per-views for
like
them.
The Rock would say, bring it.
So, and let's see. I'll just power through these real quick and just let me know if anything stands out to you. We saw Drew McIntyre make his debut on SmackDown, defeat Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn finally gets some new heel music, even though he's been a heel for years. We saw the coronation for King Woods or King Xavier. I've heard both people call him that. So he looked very happy. And so I'm excited to see what he can do as King on SmackDown. Mansour and Ali had a rematch. Mansour won there. Hit Row. Rich, I want to get your thoughts on Hit Row. Finally made their in-ring debut on SmackDown. It was a tag match against a couple local enhanced talent. It was Swerve Scott and Top Dollar. They look good, man, for a squash match.
Yeah, but still.
Yeah.
That's for all involved in that match. Like, those guys have not been in front of a crowd that size, and there's a lot more pressure than just bingo halls and armories.
It's gonna be interesting because I was reading earlier. Apparently, the rumor is they're really high on Top Dollar, so he might actually get more of the singles push. And Swerve and Ashanti,
the guy that sells antiques on A&E or
yes. Those two are going to be more of like a tag team per se, which is interesting because it's different on NXT. NXT Top Dollar and Ashanti were the tag team, while Isaiah Swerve Scott got the singles run. So we'll see how that dynamic, if it plays out like that. And then
you have to remember NXT is not booked anywhere at all near WWE. I mean, you might as well come from Impact or AEW. You know, it's not a package storyline deal.
Was that consistent as it once was?
Well, I just look at NXT as a completely different show.
Universe.
I mean, yeah, but I mean, look, Ricochet and Aleister Black came in together. Remember, and it's like they weren't a tag team in NXT. They just won the Dusty Classic as a tag team.
And here's the thing: I'm so tired of Happy Corbin, Shinsuke Nakamura.
Oh my God!
Enough.
These rematches, because like keep in mind they're like making this look like, oh, it's a new rivalry. No, remember that's why Corbin.
He's happy now.
Yeah,
but he's happy now. I don't like the Happy Corbin name or that gimmick. Like it was funny when he was losing all the time. And now the joke's gone too far.
But that's the thing. Keep in mind, when Corbin went broke and poor and down on his luck, that was because he lost all those matches to Shinsuke and lost his crown, therefore went broke and crazy. So him and Shinsuke had like 5 matches against each other earlier this year.
Yeah.
And then we saw that whole downward spiral of Happy Corbin or Baron Corbin. And now he's bounced back as Happy Corbin. And now they're reigniting that whole feud again. I'm tired of it. I don't want to see any more of this.
Yeah, let's move on.
Okay. All right. What do you think of Madcap's jokes, though? His dad
He's
jokes.
Great. He's great. I like him.
Okay. All right. So, main event segment here. And there's a lot more we've learned about in the last couple days now. So, it was supposed to be just a title exchange between both Raw and SmackDown Women's Champions, between Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair. And we kind of, based on what happened at Crown Jewel when Becky retained the SmackDown title, Charlotte didn't have a match at Crown Jewel, so she was still Raw champion. So a lot of people were like, okay, what's going to happen here? And just like with Street Profits and New Day last year after the draft, they just swapped title belts. Same thing here. They made a main event segment out of it where Charlotte had to give her Raw title to Becky. Becky had to give her SmackDown title to Charlotte since they're both switching shows now. But Richard, this turned into such an awkward segment. Sonya Deville's in the ring and asked them to exchange titles. Charlotte was gonna, look, or Sonya asked Charlotte to give her belt to Becky, but Becky reached in. Charlotte pulled back and looked like she accidentally dropped the title. And I think the point was she wanted Becky to go pick it up, but Sonya's like, "No, you pick it up, Charlotte." So Charlotte picked it up. And then gave it to Sonya. Sonya gave it to Becky. And then Becky threw the SmackDown Women's Championship at Charlotte's stomach. And it just looked really awkward. And then we saw Charlotte say, "Oh, you want to be 2 belts Becky again? Let's go right now." And the crowd is chanting, two belt Becky. Sasha Banks comes out, attacks Charlotte, and looks like they're going to set up a program between the two of them on SmackDown moving forward. But, man, what a really awkward way to end SmackDown this week.
It's intentional. I don't believe the rumors. I not to the level that they're at, or maybe not even at all. If you want to see a real beef, we just saw Charlotte and Nia Jax beat the crap out of each other for real. And they're making this sound bigger than that was. And it's ridiculous.
So what we are referring to, so in case you haven't heard yet, I mean, it's all over various news outlets right now. So it's everywhere. It's not even on it's people on Instagram and Twitter screen capping facial expressions and saying, "Oh, I can read into this. Charlotte's going to AEW now." Oh. So just to sum it up, so after this segment, what was Mike Johnson and PW Insider was reporting, and I'm just bringing this up just for context of what everyone's been talking about the last couple of days. So apparently after SmackDown went off the air, there was a huge heated argument between the two of them backstage between Becky and Charlotte. Apparently Charlotte did not want this segment to play out. She didn't want to give her title over to Becky because she thought that would make her title reign look weak. So instead, that's why she wanted to drop it. So
because Becky makes the matches and the rules and the storyline. She's the head writer of WWE, so she's taking it out on Becky.
Yeah, and so okay, we'll break into that a little bit. So I guess Charlotte thought by dropping the title, Becky will look weaker than her because she had to go over and pick it up. That was her plan, but it didn't play out that way because Sonya said pick it up yourself and made Charlotte re-pick it up and then hand it over. Anyway, heat exchange between the two of them. Apparently, Charlotte had to be escorted out of the arena by security while Becky went to go had her dark match after the show went off. That's what this is reports. These are all reports, speculation.
It just sounds so much more asinine when I hear someone say it out loud like this. I'm not saying the way you're reading it. Okay. I'm just saying, like, when you hear it out loud, it sounds that much dumber.
Yes. And so, with that being said, Charlotte was escorted out. Andrade, within an hour after SmackDown went off the air, her fiance tweeted out, F you, WWE. So now maybe that's what he's referring to, that Charlotte was, like, escorted out of the building. And then there's another report from Wade Keller, who's saying his sources are telling him that the women's locker room don't want to work with Charlotte right now. There's a lot of frustration. So there's a lot of drama going on. That's what I'm getting at, surrounding Charlotte Flair, Becky Lynch, this heat exchange. For me personally, I mean, just
is it that time of the year where they're filming Total Divas right now?
I don't know. I mean, part of me
pulling stuff out of their asses.
I mean, conspiracy theory. I'm like, oh, perfect time. It's like a month away from Survivor Series, and this could be brand versus brand.
There you go.
I mean,
oh boy, what's the next pay-per-view? I hope it's a brand pay-per-view where it's brand versus brand.
Champion
How
versus
can we
champion.
make this more interesting? We'll start some online buzz.
And that's the thing. But some of these other journalists are saying, no, it's real.
How do we make Becky Lynch a babyface again?
And that's the thing. It's wrestling. You don't know who to believe, who the sources are, what's the motivation behind these people's sources.
Here's the thing. I believe that someone told Mike Johnson this information.
Yeah.
I believe that Mike Johnson is telling that information as told to him.
Yeah.
The person that gave Mike Johnson the information, I don't believe. Because with wrestlers, you tell one wrestler, they tell another wrestler, who tells another wrestler, who tells the dirt sheets.
Yeah.
Telephone.
And then, and that's true. For me personally, when I heard this, I was like, man, we live in a world with cell phones where people like to film every aspect of our lives.
Yes.
People like to film outbreaks.
And it's easy to hide it.
These, quote, Karens and people who are yelling and screaming at one another, and someone stands off the side. I'm surprised no one filmed this, quote, heated exchange and, like, shared it.
There was no one there.
Unless maybe someone filmed it and they gave it to one of these, wrestling news sites, and like,
these
here's
news
proof,
sites would put it out. They would put it out.
Yeah, that's my only kind of like red flag is like, and maybe not in this situation, but in the past where other heat exchanges have taken place backstage, I'm surprised not like video or audio was leaked. Like someone who's like sitting there was like, oh my God, I'm a fly on the wall right now, but I could totally, like, this is a gold mine for me. Like as far as, web hits or whatever. But then again, I'm sure if something like that did leak and was on social media, I'm sure higher powers that be, management can be like, okay, who was in that room that filmed it from that angle? And then they could pinpoint and someone could get in trouble in that point. But nonetheless, I'm just saying, I'm surprised when stuff like this happens, none of this leaks on social media,
because
like the actual proof.
All fake.
So, I mean, that's the thing.
At all levels. It's all perpetuated so people talk about it.
Yeah,
see, that's the difference between, this is an entertainment company, but unlike music, where when stuff like that does happen, it is videotaped. Danzig, remember that?
Oh, when he got punched?
Yeah. So it's like, and that was before everyone having a cell phone.
Yeah. That was a grainy video, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. But it's just, no. Like, whenever this stuff happens in wrestling, take it with a grain of salt. You know?
I want to, and maybe I'm getting so desensitized to how much every week there's always these reports of so-and-so doing this and that backstage. And I feel like, man, there's a lot of toxic people out there in general. I'm talking about just in general. Like, it sucks that there's so many issues like this. But nonetheless, based on what's being reported, it's interesting how this is going to play out as far as for me, I was a little just upset that they were just throwing the titles around, not taking that. Like, these are prestige accomplishments, awards, physical titles.
But they're both at such a heel level that it's kind of saying, like, I'm bigger than the belt.
I guess, but I just didn't like how they're just throwing it around. It's like they're mistreating those things.
It's a prop.
Yeah.
That's all it is at the end of the day. It's no different than someone, like, if Zelina Vega threw her crown on the ground, like, you're not really, when you look back 20 years from now at the lineage of the belt, it's not going to say, there's not going to be an asterisk that Charlotte Flair threw the belt down once.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
it's a heel move.
This is the latest issue that people are just running wild with and speculating about what happened and picking sides and yelling, on Twitter who to believe.
Oh, this is real. This is real. Were you in the room? No, but I read it online.
So, and then like a couple weeks, it's going to die off. Hopefully, we'll see. But no, it won't, because if they're both going to be champions still by Survivor Series, they're going to have to face each other. Now that's the match to watch and see how real.
Didn't we just get Nia Jax and Charlotte?
So if we get like a match like that 2.0, Survivor Series might be a lot of fun just to watch that match play out.
See, had that actually happened, Vince probably would have made them both go back out and wrestle a dark match.
Maybe.
Because that's happened before. That happened with Nia and Charlotte. Like, Vince likes people to get it done, like, get out your aggressions, and then if you can't be cool, then you're going to be fired.
Yeah. Well, my thing is, could stuff like this been avoided as far as, and let me ask you.
Danny, let's not play into it. It's not real.
No. But I mean, but the segment itself, the title exchange, I thought it was just pointless.
Just a flat segment is all.
Well, just like rename the titles. Don't call it Raw and SmackDown.
I agree.
Call it the Women's World Title and the Women's Universal Title or something.
I personally think that they should be forced to do double duty.
Or, do a unification match at Survivor Series.
Yeah.
That's what I'm getting at.
That or you have to wrestle in both shows until you lose one. And you're defending the belt every week until.
Okay. So you're a SmackDown person, you're still defending on Raw.
You're forced into these title matches now because we got to get it off of you somehow.
Yeah. I mean, allegedly, Charlotte wanted to drop the title to Bianca on Raw this week, even though it ended in DQ. Like, I guess Charlotte wanted to drop it and get rid of the title before she went to SmackDown, but instead it was a DQ, and then she had this whole segment. So we'll see how it plays out. I'm sure there's going to be a lot more reports and stuff coming out over the next week or two. So as we build up to Survivor Series.
There's more coming out as we're doing this podcast.
I'm sure right now, behind...
Charlotte Flair disrespected Vince McMahon in a big way backstage after WWE SmackDown.
Yeah, I'm sure there's
My
always...
God.
All right, so... NXT, I don't know. I know we're running a little bit long here. Should we just go ahead and give our predictions maybe for Halloween Havoc? Is that what you kind of want to do?
Let's do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Halloween Havoc, which is back for NXT. We're excited for that because we love how they did it last year. So far, there's only 4 matches announced. There's probably going to be, I'm sure, another one added. So let's see. We have for the NXT tag titles, it's going to be MSK defending against Imperium, and it's going to be a spin the wheel, make the deal match. It's interesting because I think MSK has kind of gone through.
I'm going with Imperium.
All through the tag teams in NXT.
Yeah.
My heart wants MSK to win. I really like MSK, but brain thinking they kind of beat everyone in NXT, so maybe they're due for a change.
And I would also add that the Imperium guys got themselves in top-notch shape, really, really impressive physical shape, and that doesn't go unseen. They're working hard.
Yeah,
and their matches are always good.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
I wonder.
I'm starting to think MSK is becoming an afterthought.
Yeah, but they haven't been putting them on TV. NXT always does this with their champions, where they just completely remove them from television. Then all of a sudden they're back, and you're supposed to care again.
Yeah, Imperium looked really good this past week, defeating the Creed brothers. So, yeah, I can see Imperium winning. I wonder if they win, will this bring Walter to NXT 2.0? But the problem is Walter does not fit the style of NXT 2.0. He's such a serious.
He's ready for the main roster.
Yeah. So, I mean, my only thing is if Imperium wins, like, I mean, they've been tag champions already, so I don't know. I almost think I'm kind of thinking MSK, just so.
Okay.
And then maybe I think Grizzled Young Veterans need to win it at some point. So
that's true.
I'm thinking. All right, for the NXT Women's Tag Team Championship, a Scareway to Hell ladder triple threat tag team match between the champions Io Shirai and Zoe Stark going up against Indy Hartwell and her friend Persia Pirata. And Toxic Attraction, which is Gigi Dolan and JC Jane. I can see Toxic Attraction winning here. And since it's a ladder match, no one actually gets pinned. So Io Shirai and Zoe Stark can lose the titles, but don't actually get pinned. So they still look strong.
And then they can finally go off into their feud. And
yeah,
I'm agree.
Okay,
I'd say Toxic Attraction.
Yeah, how about you, Tommy?
I'm going to go with Toxic Attraction as well.
And then for the NXT Women's Championship, it's going to be Raquel Gonzalez defending against Mandy Rose. Spin the wheel, make the deal. Man, I know. This is a tough one.
It's a tough one
because
which like a year ago you would say, oh, Raquel's got a dominator, but like Mandy Rose has really reinvented herself.
That's true.
I mean, and Tommy last week thought the person at the graveyard was Dakota Kai.
Dakota Kai. Yes.
So I wonder if Dakota Kai makes her return, costs Raquel the championship. Mandy Rose becomes champion, and therefore Toxic Attraction becomes like the new top heel women's faction for NXT because they have all the gold. And then Raquel, maybe Dakota go off and do something, or does Raquel get called up to Raw or SmackDown?
I don't think we're getting any call-ups for a while, so I'd take that off the table because they've got to give the people they just brought up some spotlight. They're not going to screw them. I mean, they've made that mistake before. Remember when they brought in Elias, Heavy Machinery, and Lacey Evans?
Yeah,
so I don't think they're going to go down that path again. I think you're right that probably Toxic Attraction is going to win the tag team titles, and they're going to come back out and look like they're going to screw over Raquel, and then Io Shirai and Zoe Stark are probably going to come down and chase off the new tag team champions, and then a mystery person is going to show up who's going to cost Raquel.
Gotcha.
You heard it here first.
You heard it here first. Okay. And then main event time for the NXT Championship. Just a straight up singles match between champion Tommaso Ciampa against Braun Breaker. I mean,
Tommy, who you going with, Tommy?
What the hell? Just give it the Breaker.
Braun Breaker. How about you, Richard?
You go first.
Braun Breaker.
Ciampa.
Wow. So you think Braun Breaker goes on more of a longer quest to get the championship? Okay.
Well, I mean, he's green ass rookie. He's great in the ring.
Yeah.
Green ass rookie can't beat the seasoned veteran.
Okay. I can see that.
That's the way I look at this.
I just wonder, like, okay.
I think Braun is due for. He's going to have this.
Everyone likes Braun Breaker right now, but I don't know if everyone cares about him.
True, that's true. So maybe he needs a little more seasoning, a little more from
the more than just the little crowd that they got there.
You don't want the crowd to forget about it.
It's a little bit of the gabagool.
Exactly. Well, Ciampa, I just wonder if. Okay, we are now what? 6 weeks now of NXT 2.0. I wonder this is like. Halloween Havoc is going to be used as like a way to like rip the Band-Aid off and like, all right, here are new champions moving forward for this new phase, this new era of NXT. And this is going to be the show that launches all these new champions. That's what I was thinking why Braun Breaker was probably going to win here.
If they wanted to do that, they would have done that when Ciampa won it.
Yeah, I guess so. But I don't know. I'm excited for Halloween Havoc. Did they say, wait, is Chucky going to be there or... Did we see? Was there like they're supposed to be like a guest host? Okay, so Braun Breaker.
Have you watched that yet? By the way,
I've seen a couple episodes.
Is it? And I'm hearing it's good. I haven't seen it yet.
They're
replaying it like crazy.
They do on Sci-Fi and USA.
Yeah,
but the thing is, it's. I think it's so bad it's good because here's the thing.
That's Chucky.
Yeah, but that's the thing. It's on cable though, so you don't see a lot of like the blood, the murder part. You see like afterward.
There's a lot of swearing. I've had it on the background. I'm just like, what is this?
But the thing is like you see the after effects of Chucky's murder. You know what I'm saying? Like, so you don't actually see him like stabbing them. You see the person already dead, and people walking in on him like, what happened here? So, but no, it's worth checking out. I mean, I guess that's the best they can do on cable television. So, besides the cutscene, but I'm just saying, Braun Breaker and Chucky need to have a face-off.
Oh my God!
Right? Come on, there's history. No,
I know where you're going. No,
what? Rick Steiner and Chucky have history on Nitro.
Leave me alone.
We need them to.
Braun Breaker should look. Person.
Braun Breaker needs. What happened on that Nitro? I forgot. I knew they had a face-off on the TV screen.
I think this was when.
I'll look it up on YouTube.
Yeah, you should do that.
But Braun Breaker should confront Chucky and be like, "Get out of here!"
I don't think that's necessary.
He kicks him.
I don't think that's necessary at all.
I hope Chucky does not get involved in the main event.
Oh my God, why are you still talking about Chucky? What's wrong with you?
Chucky's great.
Help me.
So, no, but NXT this week was pretty good overall. I did enjoy NXT.
And I think, is it Rikishi's younger son? I think he's going to make his debut.
Oh, that's right.
That's right. Yeah, that too.
Solo Sequoia.
Yeah, that's going to be good. I just want to say real quick, I do love
where Johnny Sequoia tree.
Sequoia, yeah. Sequoia.
Johnny Gargano, I like where he's going. It looks like he's going back to full baby face with Dexter Lumis by his side, though. I like
that'll probably be the other match on the show.
Oh, the two of them versus Carmella Hayes and Trick Williams.
Sure.
Maybe.
Trick Williams, what a name.
But Johnny Gargano, if he's going to go full babyface, he needs to bring back Rebel Heart. That's all I'm going to say. I'm just saying. But like, it's cool. He said, like, he's by himself. He said, Candace's at home pregnant. Indy's by herself or doing her own thing. Married, being, a new tag team with her best friend. He's by himself. And he wants to prove, he's Johnny Wrestling once again. So I'm excited for Johnny Gargano coming back to the light side. That's what I'm saying here.
My God.
So I'm enjoying NXT. Yeah, and we saw Tony D'Angelo come back, have another match against Ru Feng. And then after, that's the guy's name here. So, no, but I actually,
the evil carpenter, Ru Feng.
So I like, how he, he had the producer of that TV show in the trunk of his car.
Yeah.
And then when the reporter asked him about it, he's like, hey, we don't know anything about that. Here's a little money.
You a snitch?
Yeah, do a little, treat yourself to something good.
I didn't kill the guy. He stabbed himself in the back 14 times and threw himself off a bridge.
Forget about it. So it was a lot of NXT's been getting better. I think they're now kind of getting the groove. It's starting to be. It's very fun.
To me, it's like 94, 95 era, new generation, just a lot more gimmicks.
Yeah.
What do you think, though? Von Wagner and Kyle O'Reilly's like new relationship, friendship. They're out in the woods training.
Very
again.
Karate Kid like.
Yes.
That's what I think of it.
I mean, because Tommy and I were at Target earlier and we were talking about this walking.
Hey, man, here's your last bit of training.
And they're having beers by the campfire. No, but I guess the point being because Kyle O'Reilly lost all his friends in Undisputed Era and he's
got to make new friends.
He's got to make new friends. Yeah.
He's Kansas cool Kyle O'Reilly. He can make friends anywhere. Kansas, NXT.
I'm sorry, but Von Wagner is Van Hammer 2.0 on NXT 2.0.
The other thing too is Kushida getting back his Back to the Future look.
Yeah,
that was a great segment in the bathroom.
Yeah, that was funny.
What's the other guy's name?
Hero. Something Jiro.
Jiro Eichmann.
Jiro. Yeah. I've always so anyway, it's no, NXT was fun. Listen, I know it's not the old NXT, so anyone listening right now, like, oh, NXT sucks. But what we're seeing here, I still find joy in that.
Exactly.
So that's what I'm getting at here.
So chill, folks.
All right. So I'm looking forward to Halloween Havoc. So, all right. On that note, let's start wrapping things up. Richard, where can the Kliqsters find you online?
You can find me on Instagram at Pro Wrestling 101 on Instagram. And please send your hate mail to at Baby Huey 83 on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook.
Forget about it. Sorry, Tommy, how about you?
Hey, you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at IronFist1982.
I'm Baby Huey. Follow me on Facebook at Baby Huey Official. And not to repeat Richard, but yes, follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Baby Huey83. Follow In The Kliq on social media at In The Kliq. Subscribe to us where you get your podcasts at, especially on YouTube. Watch the videos. Leave a comment, rate them, leave a like as well on YouTube. Help with the whole algorithm over there. InTheKliq@gmail.com. And on that note, let's go home. And that's the bottom line because Huey said so.